Hello from the historic Rimshaw basement on the National Register of Historic Places, I'm sure. The reason that this basement is historic is we had a meeting here. So there had been a group called Maranatha Ministries, and a group of us had met together for several years, and it dissolved. The whole ministry dissolved, and we were kind of left with, what are we going to do now? We had a meeting in this basement. I'm guessing there were probably 25 or 30 people there, and I threw out the idea of starting a church. And everybody was very excited to, launch a new church. And so in April of 1990, then we started Cornerstone Church officially. Linda reminded me when I walked in the door, she was our first administrator. And I remember it being quite a gift that Captain Cantor became our administrator. And we were very grateful, and she was very good.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
I like to think we had something to do with getting women the right to vote, because we met at Osley Circle Women's Clubhouse. This is what they need at the Rimshaw basement. See, something like this. This is the Osley Circle Clubhouse that we met in the very beginning. It's a beautiful auditorium. It's hardwood. It was just a great place to meet. The only problem was for the children. We had about 5 kids, 2 of them were mine, and they met down in a dungeon in the basement of Osley Circle, so that wasn't so great. The rest of this was really perfect. In fact, when we built our building, we remembered Osley Circle and how well that served a church to have this kind of setup. So when we first came to West High School, we met in this auditorium, and we call it the small auditorium. And I think it held about 200 people. You know, one of the things that I remember, of course, is setting up all the equipment. So we had to bring everything. We had an office over in Rocky Hill. Every Sunday morning, we had to have a bunch of college students go get a U-Haul truck, drive it over to the office, bring it to West High School, unload a whole church, load it back up, and take it back to the office. I don't remember how many times they wrecked the truck, but it was several. I remember one kid came in and he said, "Give me something to pick up." That's the way their attitude was, and they just had a great time. When we first came from the small auditorium, this auditorium felt pretty big. And so if memory serves, we'd fill up front half of this auditorium. And I remember the big push being, hey, don't sit in the way back. We would do a Christmas play every year and come up with, it always had to be better than the last year. So I was dressed up like a lion, and we were doing something about the Wizard of Oz. And one of my lines was, "I hate cats," because I was kind of famous for hating cats, and I was dressed up like a lion. So we had tons of fun. This was the last place we were in before we built the building. When we were in the small auditorium, we started a building fund. I thought it was funny because I never dreamed we'd ever have our own building. Then we were able to buy land. Then we were able to buy more land. And finally we were able to build the building. So it's a lot of fun.